How the could you be anxious?
How hard could your life be,
when
right?
you're pretty, you have money, you have a great job.
Have you ever caught yourself saying, oh, I shouldn't feel a certain way because of the way the things look outside of me? BS. That is a construct created to hold us back. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Through the Lens with your favorite trauma coach, Ashley. Today, we are going on a trip with the Kardashians to bust through the constructs around anxiety and how we should or should not feel based on external junk. We're going to use Kendall and Scott's discussion about Kendall's anxiety that she's been suffering from, as well as Scott. We're really going to unpack what is anxiety, and we're going to talk about the key factors that hold us back from ever addressing what's really going on within, because it's a BS construct created to keep you stuck. Stay tuned to the end because you are not going to want to miss it.
What's shaking?
I need someone to help me with my dog.
Which, the Doberman?
Pyro, he's 3 years old.
Why? What's he up to?
He's just wild. I'm having serious issues with him.
Like
He has a
what?
lot he's just so much, like, I swear he has really bad separation anxiety, and he's
just hyper and
he's just
loves
a
you.
wild guy. He's like, I have anxiety and I think he has anxiety.
Right, you're freaking out over him and getting more anxious.
Maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. Maybe he feels my anxiety. I could be the
Do you
problem.
have that much anxiety?
Yeah, I've been really bad lately.
Lately, worse than ever?
Yeah.
Hang
It's one of
into
the
it.
reasons why I'm, like, actually scared to have children.
Cannot have kids because of it, but it is scary.
Honestly, the scariest part for me is I'm like, am I just gonna get worse throughout life? Because I feel like it's worse than ever right now. And I'm just like, the older I get, is it
think
just
it'll
gonna
get
get worse
better.
and worse and worse?
I had
One of the biggest fears. And the interesting thing is, anxiety is a direct result of fear. And if we unpack whatever that fear is, anxiety can be fear of failure, fear of even things that seem mundane. But the truth is, at the core of it, it is the fear of death. Because we all believe that we can die, which if you watch any of my videos, you are an eternal being. You are eternal love. You cannot die. But that fear is something that is ingrained in us and keeps us stuck. I mean, we literally live our lives every day to make sure to do things before we die. So much weight is placed on death that it manifests itself in things like anxiety. And yeah, that's not the standard DSM definition, which I can put on the screen. But in fact, when we've unpacked what a definition is, we understand the truth behind it, and the truth behind it is the fear of death and the shame and guilt and weight that goes around that. Here she is suffering from something that is based off of fear, and then there's more and more fear packed onto it, which causes us to not even be able to address that fear, the original fear, because we're putting all this smoke and mirrors in the way of the truth. I would tell Kendall right now, this is an opportunity to really get curious, to really understand the false fears that are standing in the way of the true fear, that are making it feel like this massive monster under the bed instead of the mouse that it actually is. Let's continue to watch.
I had it really bad and I got better.
Yeah, I hope.
How old were you when your anxiety started?
I think I was about like 8, from what I remember. But I thought there was like something physically wrong with me. Like I made my mom take me to a heart doctor and a lung doctor and a brain doctor and all these people because I thought something was wrong with me. And at that time too, like people didn't really talk about anxiety the way they do now. I never knew that that's what that was until later in life, being like, oh, that's what that was that whole time. And I had no clue.
Okay, again, us projecting out an internal state of being must be the responsibility of an external condition. What Kendall talks about, that when this was occurring to her, she made her mom take her to a brain doctor and all these different doctors because there's something wrong with her. There must be something wrong with her. That is one of the most common things you will find with people with mental health. I mean, me, when I was suffering from bipolar and anxiety and all that, if you look at my doctor rap sheet, I was literally at the doctor more than I hung out with my friends. My doctor literally knew every piece about me because I was constantly suffering from something. Because it's a cyclical scale and it has nothing to do with your body and everything to do with the mind, not the brain, the mind, and you coming from a place of fear. And it can manifest in the definition of anxiety, bipolar, whatever. From day to day, you choose, you can fit into any of these boxes. But the truth is, it doesn't fit in any of the boxes. What you truly are could never fit into a box. And when we put this label on it, it again gives us this external place to put the things that really we have control over. And I know you're like, Ashley, this is not nice to people with mental illness and all of that. I get that. I was there. But I will tell you, the second I took radical self-ownership of my state of being is the second I started to heal. The second I took the labels off of me and just looked at the truth is the second I was able to see the light, the ability to actually understand that I'm not defined by this label. And even though I would say, you know, I have bipolar, but I'm not defined by it, by saying I even have bipolar, I was immediately defining myself as it because I was judging. It's a judgment. And anytime we get ourselves into judgment, even if it's for the good of, you know, psychology or medical or science or whatever, we have created a definition that then our subconscious feels it must live within. This is an internal condition. We don't need any external understanding of it because it's not. The external is a projection. It is an effect of the cause. And the cause is a deep-seated fear based out of shame and guilt. All right, let's continue on.
Everybody's got a problem.
Yeah, I think that's the common misconception. It's like we're all human and we all feel
And it
everything.
sucks that people judge when,
Right.
how the could you
How
be anxious?
hard could your life be,
when
right?
you're pretty, you have money, you have a great job. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I have all those great things on paper,
Yeah.
but I don't feel great.
Yeah.
So you.
I have definitely struggled with a little bit of guilt for even feeling anxiety or feeling unwell because I do have a lot of blessings and I am a really lucky person, but we all have shit to a certain degree, so I think just a little more compassion would be nice.
I'm also such a control freak, so I wish I could
Boom. My question to you first is when you hear that Kendall is suffering from anxiety, where does your mind go? Do you start to be like, what the F? Like, she has access to everything in the world. She has money, she has fame, she's beautiful, all these things. If so, you just sucked yourself into the construct. And I want you to know, if you just judged Kendall, you have first judged yourself. That is a flashlight in understanding that you are running by a judgment that you are first judging yourself from. You are holding yourself back. We don't realize how powerful it is to pay attention to how we view others. Because the truth is, your subconscious knows that we are all one. When you judge someone else, you have first judged yourself. Don't create more shame and guilt out of this. If your answer was yes, wow, what a breakthrough. You realized an area you probably didn't know was holding you back. Don't create more shame and guilt. Who gives a rat's ass? It's an opportunity to get curious and to unpack a construct that's holding you back. This construct I talk about, other than the piece of judging others first, you're judging someone else, you have first judged yourself, is let's base our internal state or how our internal state should be on our external view. BS. That will hold you back every single time. That construct is one of those like, life is hard, get over it constructs. Oh, you've got everything you need, you're being disrespectful or you're being ungrateful. You know, all of those things that we were taught as a child, that is the way in which society operates. If you are at a certain external status, you should have nothing wrong with you. But the truth is, your external does not freaking matter. What matters is your internal state, and are you clearing out the noise to come from a place of love? Because we are all here for a classroom, my friend, and Kendall, just because she has all this money and this external smoke and mirrors within the illusion, does not mean she doesn't have just as many, if not more, forgiveness lessons as you do. Because otherwise she would not be here. She would be off with Buddha and Jesus and Mother Teresa. When you start to look at your external circumstances and say, I should or should not be away internally, what you did is you shoved that monster back into the closet where it can grow even bigger, when really it's just a mouse. If you just owned it and accepted it and forgave it, and instead of identifying with it, became the observer that you truly are, it would just seamlessly walk away. And yeah, it might not be easy, but I promise you it is simple. It is so freaking simple. And we have complicated personal development in the healing process because another construct, which we can talk in another video about, but we've been taught that nothing good comes easy, which is BS again. Good things are very simple. True love, eternal state of being, is simple. Thank you so much, friend, for tuning in. Today's key takeaways are F the construct of looking at your external place to determine how your internal state should be. Stop creating more shame and guilt where it is not necessary. And if you judged Kendall, you first judged yourself. So boom, flashlight, area in your life that you are still holding yourself back because you're judging. You're holding separation. And last but not least, we need to stop putting ourselves in boxes. We need to understand the separation that is created and the definitions our subconscious begins to live by when we label our asses. And yep, I know everybody wants a label because everybody wants to be an individual. I'm here to tell you you're not. You're eternal love and we are all one. And the only way to heal is to truly understand that and to release yourself of all judgment, which is including constructs and definitions. Well, that was this week's episode of The Kardashians. I hope you had an amazing trip this week with myself, your favorite trauma coach, Ashley, and The Kardashians. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you know when a new video comes out and you can adventure on your weekly trip. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. So much love. Remember, you're worth it. Bye.